Hello. Hi, Tish.
Hi, Nicolette.
Great. It's so good to see you. Look at you looking all
Oh,
beautiful.
thanks you too. That smile is $1 million, girl.
Colgate needs to call me. Colgate needs
I
to call.
know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love your hair. I love it.
Likewise, likewise.
Thank you.
We're going to jump right into it. So I'm so happy to have you with me today to talk about the Shine Institute and what is going to take place soon.
Yes, yes, yes.
I want to get everybody excited as I'm excited. So I want to start off first by asking you, what was the motivation behind you? You know what? Before we get there, tell us about what is going to take place. What's going to happen soon? Tell me.
So on Tuesday, May the 24th, it's gonna be fire in the Zoom room as we slay, okay, as a confident woman of victory, okay, giving tips of how to triumph over life's experience because life will throw you lemons and limes in the most unexpected time as you completely understand, Nicolette. It will come, but we have to persevere, we have to push through and just make the best, not even the best, we're more than conquerors, to triumph and to soar, right, in this life. It's coming on Tuesday, the 24th from 12 to 1. I mean, people are excited about it. I am excited about it and just can't wait to see how many women's lives are touched and hope that they will sign up for my 12-week course. So that's what's happening on the 24th. Thanks for asking.
Sure thing. And now you said some 12-week course, girl. That's a lot of time to give a lot of information.
That is
What's happening in this 12 weeks, though?
So it's just one of the courses right now. I'm still creating Love You, which stands for the Ladies of Victory University. So I am creating my own online course that's still in the works. But until then, I do have a 12-week Brave Thinking course that can help people to be transformed by the renewing of their mind. So it's Brave Thinking. It's also 12 weeks. I do have a couple clients that's going through that platform right now. But my baby is the Love You, and I cannot wait to actually birth that coming real soon.
All right. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
So we're definitely looking forward to the Tuesday and the opportunity to do the 12-week classes. So now let me ask you about the Shine Institute. First of all, that's a
Yeah.
wonderful name. Like
Thank you.
Shine. It's like tell me about the name first. Tell me about the name, and then we'll get into
Yes.
how what it represents.
Yes. So I like to believe that I am special and unique and a little eclectic. I'm not your classic black and white type of person. I love color. I like living on purpose. And so back at Howard, that I stole that from Alicia Bethel, her fashion merchandising professor. She would also always share with Nisha, make it a great day on purpose. And I was like, man, that is awesome. So I started saying, make it a great day on purpose. And my word was purpose. However, I saw different people using that word. And I'm like, man, I need to be original.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Shine birth back in 2017. So I've been using that for a few years now. And just based on my experience in the corporate world, I find that some people are threatened when they see others. I think Maya Angelou said, do not shrink back, or was it Mandela, to make someone else feel comfortable. Instead, just be who you've been called to be. And so I found through my tenure that it's important to be my authentic self, to shine forth, but not only in the corporate America. As a believer, in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, it talks about let your light shine before men. Someone may not go to church. They may not be feeling that. They may think it's pretty whack. But when I walk through the grocery store, if I'm at the library, if I'm at Six Flags amusement park, just the way that I have been at the airport and people have stopped to ask me like, who are you? And can I take a picture of you? And I'm able to testify, I'm God's girl. I'm a daughter of the King, and I'm here to shine my light. And so the Shine Institute came about, just experiencing corporate America. Sometimes is not the most comfortable place. And I just said, you know what? I need to create something of my own where I can continue to be myself. I can continue to help those who truly want to make a difference and an impact with shaping culture, with bringing about a change, with motivating their teams, and just really creating a great place to work. That's how the Shine Institute came about.
That's awesome. Thank you so much
You.
for that. So, and since you do talk about standing out and just, shining for the Lord, could you tell me, because we have other classes and we have other, masters of, people like you who teach in general, how about the corporate, but what makes you different? What makes the stand out the way that you're?
Yes. So I think what my secret sauce is that separates me oh my gosh. So I learned from my mentor, that we are in the era of the experts. So there are many influencers. You have many people having YouTube and TikToks, and they're just getting out there and they're speaking. But I think what separates me from many other speakers is the anointing. I've been called. The Lord he is my man. Like, I breathe him. I eat him. Like, everything that I do, I want to bring glory and honor to him. And so because of that, it's just anointed. It's anointed, and the avenue that I lead towards, and I'm not going to give away my 12-week course, but the first 6 modules of Love You, the Ladies of Victory University, talks about getting dressed. And so many people know me for slaying, being dressed up, but
yeah.
thank you. It's not, so someone may think that it's actually getting dressed up, but it's coming from a different standpoint about being armored, how to have that confidence, that bulletproof confidence, no matter what gossip, no matter what dart that was sent to pierce your heart, how to protect that, how to maintain healthy boundaries, how to make sure that you're guarding your senses and your mind and that you're unshakable. So that's the first half. I have that first half outlined and birthing out the second half. But I was just so excited to give women and to deposit into them the necessary tools so that they can be fearless no matter what pressures come. Thus the logo for the Shine Institute. Diamonds are created out of pressure. And so, as life gives you pressure, it's okay to embrace it, because you're just getting chiseled, you're just getting polished, and at the end, you're going to stand fearless as a beautiful diamond.
I love that. I so love the part where you just said how, you teach how to withstand the darts, right? Because it's one thing just to teach how to shine, but maintain that success, maintaining it and reaching a point where even if anything happens that the success blows up, how do I withstand anything that comes my way? It's not always easy. We see so many successful people who end up doing things that demean them, or you know what I mean? And so having that element of God in it to show, listen,
Yes.
for a purpose, and it's not just about representing your craft or whatever, but I love it. I have another question though.
Yes.
Think about all the work that you must put in to do this 12-week class. And then there's another one that's coming. And then the day that on Tuesday, that's a lot of work. Now, you are working yourself, aren't you? Like, and do you have a job, or is this it?
So I do have a job. And that is near and dear to my heart. From my mentor, right now, I am the brand. Right? Shine with Tish, .com, the Shine Institute. And so I've been advised by my mentor, even though I still have a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, what I should be portraying to the world is the Shine Institute, is Tish, and continue to scale that and continue to build that and be known by that. And so I do have.
The question that I was leading to is, how do you manage it, Tish? How do you manage to do your 9 to 5 and do this and pour into it as much as I see that you're pouring into it?
So I think you hit it on the head, that there is a God element. So many are called, but few are chosen. I believe that we all have a purpose, a passion, and a calling. And one thing I learned from my dad, once you're in your vein, once you're doing what you've been created to do, that's the best beauty potion, okay? Once you are doing what you have been created to do, it's not work. It's a delight. It is a joy. It is the sunshine and the water. It just gives me life. So even though it may be in the wee hours, that I'm putting out an email, for a speaking gig, it gives me life. It's a pleasure, to lose sleep so that I can continue to pursue my dreams.
That's amazing. It reminds me of a lady that I've heard say something. She's this older woman and she's radiating. And when these younger people see her, they're like, "Oh my gosh, tell me your nightly routine, your day routine for yourself."
Yes.
Like, oh no, I have a spiritual routine, right?
Woo!
I was like, go ahead, sis.
Yes.
Have that passion, that connection, like you're saying.
Yes, yes.
All of that beauty that I see.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
So tell me, when you encounter these women that you are teaching and you're mentoring and you're pouring into them, what do you find to be the most common thing that they fail at, that you have to like train them about?
Yes, that's a phenomenal question. And the foundational answer is self-love. Many people are looking for love in appearance. They're looking for love in money. They're looking for love in a man, a relationship. They're chasing the engagement ring, whether it's just success and houses and cars and babies and just overall, the love of the world. However, I know that it's all vanity, right? It's all vanity. There's nothing new under the sun. And you can, I was sharing with someone the other day, it's so sad. You've seen some of the celebrities who have had the biggest success, who have been millionaires. They have labels, and then when they take their life, people are scratching their heads like, what happened? Like, you had everything. So the word says, what can profit a man to gain the whole wide world and lose their soul? So I help women. One young lady, I pretty much helped most recently to get out of a physically abusive relationship, is you're worth more. Love you more. It's not worth what you're going through. You are the prize. You are the prize. And if he cannot see that, he's not worthy of that. You can take $100 bill and spit on it and crush it and even tear it, but it still doesn't lose its worth. You can tape it, you can dust it off, uncrankle it, it's still $100. So just that confidence and self-love is the key, because you can try to love someone else, but if you don't love yourself, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So confidence and self-love is the reoccurring theme that I see.
Awesome. So now, speaking about that and mentioning that you've helped a woman who was abused, what kinds of women is this for Tuesday? What kind of women are you that you can help, that you want to join this? What are you looking for?
Yes.
Who attend this?
Yes. So I can hear my mentor right now. My target audience are women between, and I personally don't like to give a cap, but women, right? From 21 and up, who are trying to live on purpose, to thrive, to maximize their fullest potential, and to live on level 3. I got to give some credit to Darius Daniels. There are 3 ways that you can live. You can live sinking. That's level 1.
Hold on, wait, sinking?
You can live surviving. That's level 2. Or you can live thriving. That's level 3. Yes. So just helping women to realize, hey, it goes down to the DNA. It's looking at the patterns and the cycles. Let's look at mom. Let's look at grandma. Let's look at great grandma. What is it? That is the link that continues. What's that vicious cycle that has passed down? What do I need to ask about? Let's look at dad and grandpa, right? And great grandpa. What is it that I need to, if we don't slay the demons in our lives, they're going to pass down to our children. So just being careful that, we set ourselves up for success. For women who really are tired of being tired and sick and tired and really want a breakthrough and really want to shine and thrive, they can absolutely have it as they enroll in the Shine Institute.
Awesome. So we have women who are 21 and older. We have women who are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes.
Women who have issues of any kind that they want to overcome.
Yes.
And women who want more tips, right? Like who
absolutely
where they are, what they're doing, what they're not doing. Can they add to their bag? Right?
Absolutely. Definitely. I love it. Absolutely. Those golden nuggets. Yes. Pick them up. Pick them up.
Oh, that's right. So as we're talking about that, I'm just thinking on your journey to be here, because when I look at you, I see a successful, beautiful Black woman, but it wasn't like in a day, like that you
No.
Some of the roadblocks, because obviously you had to practice a lot of the things that you're going to be teaching.
Absolutely.
The blockage that you had along the way that might have prevented you from getting to this space right now.
Oh my gosh, Nicolette, I do not want to steal the thunder from Tuesday, but I will give you 3. I'll give you 3. I first want to share that I didn't have the lineage of, I don't come from parents that had the traditional undergraduate. So I just remember in high school one day, just like crying like the whole day, like, Dad, if you were me, you would wait another year, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to Howard, like get up off the money, let me go. It's not like I'm in Ohio, I can take a Greyhound and get there. Like I need like $600+ to get on a plane to get there. So that was just a barrier of just breaking through my dad's mind, the paradigm shift. Like I've gotten accepted. There's financial aid. And I didn't even start at Howard. I went to Benedict College for a semester before I transferred. That was a hurdle. I mean, because if he had said no, what would have happened, right? And then from there, I think another hurdle would be, oh my gosh, that was a huge hurdle. Do I look like I've been homeless to you?
What?
Girl, I remember spring of 1999, around Howard graduation, I was supposed to move out of the dorms on May 9th. And I thought it was going to be at a family member's. That didn't work out. I moved in with a classmate who was also from St. Croix. She kicked me out. Again, that envy and jealousy. You got to be careful who you let into the inner part of your life. There's everybody likes the new girl. Everybody has questions for the new girl, and that made her feel uncomfortable. So I was like, I just made the dance team. Okay. Like I'm going back to Howard. I know I was going to work. I'm not going to visit my cousin in Chesapeake. No, I'm going back to Howard. We got to figure this out. So there was a point where I'm like, where am I going to stay? Where am I going to sleep? What's going to happen? That was the lowest part of my life. That was the lowest of the low to the low. And then I think I'll give you one more. I don't know if you've ever been slapped in your face, but I have.
Like physically?
Like physically.
What? Girl.
Yeah. So I have been physically slapped in the face by a gentleman that I dated at Howard. And I just remember, I started my career. I remember my left eye, it kept, it was spasming because it was hard. It kept spasming and twitching.
Oh my God.
It was serious. And I just remember, of course I cried my heart out. And you were like, what's wrong with your eyes? I'm like, girl, you know it's springtime, it's allergies, just lying to cover it up. And so those are three, again, I'm not going to give you the whole book yet, but or steal the show, but there's just so many obstacles that I have encountered that God has put an affinity and a love on my heart for young girls, just so that sharing my story with them so that they don't have to go through the same thing that I went through. Everybody says that they love you, but real love, we're not talking about store gay, family love, uncle, cousin, brother, daddy, grandpa. We're not talking about filial, right? Friendly love here. We're not talking about Eros, Cupid love, right? Agape. And that's why I love the Lord so much, even in my stupor, thinking I knew it all, that's real love, and just communicating that to people. He loved us first. We love him. We love ourselves, and everything else will be added to us. So those are, oh my gosh. So just starting my career, just going through the corporate shenanigans, and just pushing through. Not everybody is happy. Not every matter of fact, on Friday, the 13th of May, 2022, I was featured in a Forbes HR Council panel, and the topic was 11 ways to improve your bad relationship with your boss, and my quote was talking about some people are not happy. And I continue to talk about that because toxicity exists. And when other people, I like to listen to Darius Daniel, he was like, some people think everything is fine with them until they meet you.
Ooh.
And then they start, circling like, man, do I have a relationship with God? On the weekend, I'm just chilling. This person is hustling. They're studying, they're writing, they're pushing, like they are on 3. I'm just on 2, I'm just on 2. So just overall, it's been a lot, but I'm determined, to no matter what happens, not to let anyone steal my light, not to let anyone steal my joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength, to be overflowing. No matter what happens, continue to give him praise because worship is a weapon. So that's been some of my journey. Yep.
I love it. Thank you so much. But girl, I'm not going to pass on Forbes right now. Like, because you just mentioned you were on Forbes. What? Let's
Yes.
a little minute. All right, let's move on now.
Yes, God is good. He's good. Amen.
But speaking of that, and I know you say God has been your support. He has been your base. He has been your center.
Mm-hmm.
But could you share with us any other resources that has been there for you to help push you and help you promote yourself or do the things that you are doing right now? What are some of the resources that you had?
Absolutely. We are in the month of May, so I would have to give shout outs. God has blessed me. Not only has he blessed me with a beautiful family, he's blessed me with not one, but 2 mothers. So Jacqueline Greenwich Payne birthed me, and I love her for my life. Wilma Fredericks raised me. She was the Adventist lady that poured in, King Jesus into my heart, and I'll forever be grateful for that. So even this past week was a tough week, and I text them, my mom Jackie, she was like, Tish, I always tell you, shed the blood of Jesus, and my mom who raised me, she's like, Tish, he's at it again, but like, he's toothless. Like, you will always be victorious because you bow. You will always be elevated because you go low, right? So definitely my moms, I got to give them a shout out. Secondly, I could not, my mom says it, my mama, she's like, Tish, you were always loving, you always studied. I would wake up in the morning, you're still working on science projects. She was like, but Howard University took you from being soft, I was sweet, sometimes you hurt my feelings, but Howard University took you from being soft to being as hard as nails. Okay, so I have to shout out my alma mater. Some people, like the one young lady that I moved in with that summer of 99, she left. Not everybody's able to survive. Like, they really bred the best and the bride is, it's not easy. It is not, I'll be lying to you if I said it was a piece of cake. They pump out the best. So I just thank them, School of B, yeah, for just for everything that I learned. Presentation, that was a part of our grade. How are you presenting to the world? If you're gonna graduate from here, you got to look like us. You got to show excellence in your own way, but you have to be the best. You got to continue to strive. And then lastly, I am going to shout out my new mentor, and that's Dr. Sonia Stribling. She is a warrior, and I'm a member of her exclusive Warriors Pride Club. And so it's an honor to have those mastermind classes and to be amongst other women entrepreneurs that are doing phenomenal things. Being amongst doctors, right, who are closing down their practices to work for themselves because they're doing that well. And so she just always says, are you picking up what I'm putting down? She has the blueprint, she has a phenomenal story, but she's also the author of The Divorce That Saved My Life. So, her testimony is powerful, 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 powerful. And just thank God for using her to pour into women like me to help us to, no matter what you want out of life, if you can hustle for the vacation, if you can hustle to make sure the household and babies and everybody's correct, you can definitely hustle for the future that you want.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
Because, a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's me. I pulled myself up out of school. We don't want that. We know to help you along the way. And I'm glad that you share those people, especially mom. Mother's Day was just last month, but last week, but
Yeah.
I love it when, people are able to anyway, our next question, I just wanted to ask, how did it start? How did the Shine Institute start? What was the first brick on the ground type of foundational thing that you did when the idea was birthed in your mind? How did you start this new?
That's a great question. I know Shine had to be in there somewhere because that's my word, that's my brand. But if I could think of the one thing, it's not quite. My motivation was to try to think rich, to try to, be able to have some write-offs on my taxes, how it started, but also primarily to help executives be their best. I want to shout out Jason. He was my first executive that hired me to help his department to eliminate and alleviate the toxicity in his department. And so that was a joy and an honor to go in there, show him progressive discipline, but not just to let someone go, but the importance of training and development and giving feedback constructively, helping the team member to see the broader vision and the objectives of the organization so that everybody knows what the goals are and they're working together and making time for fun. If you are all stuffy and rigid, nobody wants to work for you. You have to make time to, a team that plays together stays together. So balancing, the business needs along with the human needs have been one of the foundational. He was one of my first clients, and I'm grateful to him for that.
Awesome. Okay. So speaking of having a first client and, just being in practice with this business that you have here, what is the best part of it that you would say as you're working with clients? What turns you on? What makes you happy?
Yes.
Joy.
So there's one client that sticks out to me, and I remember when we first started the Brave Thinking curriculum, and just her posture, her thought process. One day she was just really low. She was really sad. And, we outlined, this is the homework, this is what you're going to do. But she texted me after a session, and we agreed that she would take some time, she would set an alarm and, just continue to be in bed, give yourself whatever time you need so that you can start over, shut it down, power down that cell phone, power down that computer, and reboot, restart. But after our session, she was able to shift her paradigm and reframe it. And she was like, Tish, I don't even need to take a nap right now. Like right now, she had the list of things that she needed to do. And she was just like, wow, when I hear or I feel that low vibration, I can do the self-talk. I get to choose what my thoughts are because my thoughts become my words and my words become my behavior and action. So just to see her thriving to, I tell her, hey, like you're pregnant, we're having a baby, because at the beginning she couldn't dream. But now she has a dream and she's no longer, chilling right at level 2 on the weekends. She is getting her own mentor and applying for a part-time job so that she can actually have her dream realized. And so that gives me so much joy to see not only the beginning but the end results and the aha, and see those change in behaviors.
Right. So could you tell me some takeaways, like that you're like the best takeaway, or a few, or whichever, even if it's just one that your clients usually come back with? For example, you mentioned 3 clients already that you've seen that had wonderful results, but when they do call back or thank you, like what are some of the things that they're like, oh my gosh, Tish, you did this, like.
I said, okay, let me see. Oh man, there's so many things. So one thing would be what I just mentioned, that reframing. Just the mind is dangerous. The battle is in the mind. And so again, that will be one of the 6 modules in the first half. And so helping for like, she called me one day, she was like, oh my gosh, I was tripping, I couldn't speak with you. And then I'm like, what would Tish say right now? What would Tish say right now? And it's like, we got this, calm down, let me, and sometimes we do the Vogue, let me reframe it. How could this work out for my good? Even in the midst of losing my job, how could this work out for my good? Because everything works out for my good, even if it's in the worst opportunities, because our God is the CEO of CEOs. No matter in the worst situations, there's always something good we can gain from it. So that reframe, if I can give a second and final one, it would be the positivity that exudes. So even in like with the one client I was mentioning, even in going through the coaching process, sometimes people always say like, am I going to get fired, or they want to quit. And it's like, do you really want to do that? You're jumping to the end and we just want to have a conversation. We want to make it better. Let's keep that positive thinking, because what we think about, we bring about, and you don't want to speak death. Let's think positively. So the reframe and the endless positivity, I think, would be 2 takeaways that my clients would say.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So for Tuesday and possibly for the 12 courses that are to come, right? How do you prepare for Tuesday and that? Like what should they do? How do they get to you, or how do they prepare?
So we actually have, and let me see if I can pull up the flyer as we're talking, and I can have all of that details to share. But I think, as I would share with my clients, I want, just like for our interview, Nicolette, I like to believe, and as I share with my clients, authenticity is critical and crucial. So I think, of course, if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. But in this particular environment, I want people to come with an open heart, to come looking to be fed and to find tips and, that they can implement. So I'm going to share the flyer here. And so it reads, the Shine Institute is calling all ladies, calling all ladies. You are invited to slay as a confident lady of victory by learning the 5 tips to triumph over life's experiences. And so that Zoom ID is 840-3935 2953. Again, that's 840-3935-2953. And the passcode is 997329. Again, 997329. We have an amazing lineup. We have Ruba, our CEO of Indie Reads in Indianapolis, Indiana. Arlene Banks, who is an area operations logistic manager at Amazon here in the DMV. We have Wilka Nacimiento. She is the podcast host for Leadership Talks. And then Heather Lynn Matthews Willoughby, who is the HR professional at We Connect International. I know these ladies, and I know that they have some powerful life stories, and they have triumphed over some difficult opportunities, and they're doing great. And so I'm hoping that we will have some ladies that are encouraged and be like, oh my gosh, if that person went through that, I can surely get through what I'm going through. Let me hit up Miss Tish. Let me sign up for one of her, her classes.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Of
Now,
course.
I'm sure they have to bring pen and pencils and that, or will there be things being sent to them afterwards?
Great question. Great question. Absolutely. We can do a recap. I'll send an email just listing out the 5, because I definitely want to make sure people register. I know sometimes people, they drag their feet a little bit. That's why I'm providing the meeting ID and the passcode. But in any event, I hope to ask them to put that in the chat and just circle back with a recap of the event.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. So just in closing, is there anything that you want to finish with just to share for those who are listening?
Absolutely.
To learn so much about the Shine Institute, but what are your final words that you would say?
Thank you, Nicolette. My final words, ladies and gent, if you really want to get in the Zoom hot room, come on in. And that is, not everyone is as, what word would I use? Not everyone is as risky or adventurous to deposit thousands monthly, to have a mastermind coach. Not everyone has the opportunity to matriculate at a 4-year institution. And so I am humbling myself. I am listening to that voice and making available, introducing women who have gone through the crucible, who have made it over on the other side, that's willing to share their story with you. Knowledge is power. That was my high school motto. Shout out to St. Croix Central High. Knowledge is power. So, everybody has a different lifestyle. Not everybody's reading, doing podcasts, so come on out on Tuesday. I promise you, you will learn something. You will extrapolate and take that something that you can implement into your life to be a better woman for tomorrow. It's only 60 minutes. Remember, love you. After all, you deserve it. Thank you
so much, Tish. That was awesome. And I will be there on Tuesday to for myself. So.
And we're having giveaways. So I'm giving away $150 to the panelist for whoever has the most guests in the room. And then I'll give away another $150 for that participant that asks the $1 million question. So the question that I think, for that participant that I find is the most engaged, that really asks a provocative question, I'm going to award them with a $150 gift card. So it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Indeed.
Food is incentive, but money is too. So
yes, absolutely. We love to eat and we love to go shopping, right? We are the #1 consumer. Black women are the #1 consumer. But I hope everyone paid attention that I have an international lineup. I represent for the Black diaspora. Ruba represents for Arab Americans. We have Arlene for Asians and Wilka for Latinas. And then we have Heather for our Americans or Caucasian viewers that would like to join us.
That is so great because we need it all.
Yes, diversity.
Yes, that inclusiveness is very important. Everyone needs, and We're so glad, Tish, that you are doing this for us women. And let's just be real. If the men wants to slide in, I'm sure they can
Come
hear
on in.
for everybody. But we're focusing.
Yes. Yes, knowledge is power. We will not discriminate. We will actually be quite honored if you grace us with your presence. Indeed.
If you listen behind your wife, you know, whichever way.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
It was wonderful speaking to you, and you're such a phenomenal woman. I'm so glad that God has given to you the purpose and the need to do something like this for women out here like myself and all those who are listening. Thank you again. Have a great, wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Until next time, keep shining.